Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Oregon football.
It's about them going on the field and getting better.
He's gone. He's gone. See you later. Touchdown. Ducks.
We want to play with relentless effort. We want to attack the ball at a high level.
Pressure comes. They got him again.
And I want to see those guys playing for each other.
Gives it to James again, and he may go all the way. Goes it down the middle. There's Pez Johnson. Why not just score?
These guys come to work, man. They're wired the right way. Always about hearing the message, not the tone.
There's no place like Oregon. We do it different. We're growth mindset oriented and just great people.
This is the Oregon Football Coaches Show on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Today's broadcast is also brought to you by Country Financial Insurance, protect what matters, and by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks! Drink Pepsi. Now let's go to the Country Financial Studios and talk Oregon Duck football.
Wow, let me say that again. It is here finally. I start in about probably June when the football magazines start coming out. Then you get to July and start counting down the days, and then all of a sudden fall camp is here, and this guy doesn't get any sleep anymore. Head coach Dan Lanning in the studio. It's for our first show.
You look good, though. Good to be back. My wife's telling me I got a little more gray than I've had before, but that's all right.
Well, you got probably 118 reasons on that field.
I got a couple of reasons.
Yeah, that would do that. Welcome to the Toyota Coaches Show. Coach, here we go again. My gosh. It's something new with a new conference, but a lot of things stay the same. It's just football, isn't it?
Yeah, it's football, but it's exciting because it is new. I mean, just as exciting new conference as brand new team, right? So what's happened in the past has nothing to do with what's going to happen in the future. So I'm excited to see what we look like this year.
What's different? I mean, what do you feel is different about it besides the name of the conference?
Yeah, I mean, more than anything, when you have, we have 130 guys on our team. When you have a new group of guys and you go out there and practice, there's new people in new places. College football, there's transition every single year. It's going to be new person playing quarterback. There's going to be new people playing along the front and different all across our team. So, and it's about how that team becomes a team. So, we're excited for that new adventure.
Interesting when we talk about players coming in as a freshman or a sophomore and the growth from year 1 to year 2 to year 3. This is year 3 for you. How is Dan Lanning different for year 3 than he was year 1 when he was?
How much time you got? In a lot of ways I think still the same energy and enthusiasm for what we want to accomplish. But I do think, for myself, I'm a lot more prepared for what might come, down the road and trying to have big picture vision, about the future, and you've really settled in on how you like to do things, and then everybody in your organization understands how you want to do things. So I think a lot of that's shown up for me.
The way that you keep your players involved and engaged and communicate with each other and teach them to lead, and yet you've been here 3 years. You got some guys on the team that have been here as long as you have, maybe even a year longer, a guy like Jeffrey Bassa or T. Ferg or Patrick Herbert or some others. Talk about the growth of those guys and how you use them within the team to be your communicators, your coaches.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that I'll say that we've attacked really hard, and something probably I didn't realize early in my coaching career is that you can develop leadership and you can grow players. And the best teams have always had player-led teams, but I don't know that I was as focused on how do you develop that leadership as I am now. And you've got some great players, like you mentioned, that attack that have a voice and realize that they can make an impact with their peers and their teammates. So it's great to see that.
You remember what coaching was like before the portal, and a lot of those things changed. But you get 20 some odd freshmen and 12 or 13 portal. You get such a large portion of your team that's new. How has that changed coaching for you and your staff when you have so many new faces but no more time to teach?
Yeah, I think your onboarding process, you realize how important every single meeting is, every single walkthrough. The access that you create for those players, and then again the players helping bring each other along. When you walk out to our practices, you'll see a lot of players coaching each other, which I absolutely love. But yeah, that's something you have to be conscientious of.
How have your coaches settled in? New coaches or guys that have moved in as full-time position coaches, how have they settled in since the beginning of the year and even past spring?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with our coaching staff. We've got a bunch of guys that don't have big egos. They want to learn. They want to be the best for themselves. They want to be the best for their position. And I think we have a group that's done a great job of that. And they work really well together. We have a family environment, but we enjoy. We know when work has to be done, but we enjoy being around each other. So that certainly helps.
And you got some continuity on the offensive side. Coach Stein's second year here now. Tosh has been here, so things roll a little smoother when you have that continuity?
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to explain things twice. You've got an opportunity to understand how each other operate, and you get to build off of what you believe makes a good program.
You get into fall I don't want to call it fall camp, preseason camp. Is there a point in time when preseason camp was going along that you can just tell those guys are getting tired of hitting each other and they need to hit somebody else? I mean, is there
It's probably this week. You're getting so close and so excited for a new game that I think our players are really anxious to get on the field, and also they feel prepared, for that opportunity to go play somebody else. Early on, our guys are really good at having a narrow focus, and they've done a great job of that. But even me as a coach, I'm ready to go see another team. Early, I'm always talking about, man, I'll take every single day you'll give me to prepare, but let's go play a game. We're ready to go play a game.
Yeah. That was going to be my question. You asked a lot of coaches, you're ready to play a game, you want more time. Most coaches would say, I want more time. But you've got a fairly veteran crew, and this is a crew that not only the veterans you have, but the guys you've brought in, you have a lot of confidence in the portal advances that have come in and the freshmen. Those are your guys, so there's more confidence in that in there.
Yeah, we got a team full of players, and every one of those players on that team is our guy. So I'm certainly excited about what we were able to bring to this team, and excited about the growth that's happened so far, but certainly excited also about the guys that have been here and developed and grown.
Yeah, I mean, so often I see people focusing on who's left, whether it's Bo Nix or Troy Franklin or whoever else it might be, and yet you look at who's back, not only from the leaders that I talked about that have been around here for 2 or 3 years, but some of the newcomers that have come in from a transfer standpoint have played a lot of football, so they've seen other examples of maybe how to do things and not how to do things that bring it to the table for you, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Experience is really valuable in college football, and I think that played itself out last year. You saw teams that were great teams. They had great experience. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Athleticism aside, you bring that in, but team chemistry, family, brotherhood, whatever title you want to put on that. How do you develop that from spring ball to now with all those guys coming in? I'm thinking of the time off after spring football when the coaches really don't have a lot of time with those players. How does that develop?
Yeah, the connection piece is always a big part of our program, and it looks a lot of different ways throughout the season and throughout the off season, whether that's a meal over at my house or us going to a movie together or just hanging out with each other, going to Camp Harlow or hanging out at the Jake Will Ranch, whatever that might look like. We try to find a lot of those moments that we can create that environment.
And you also do community events. I know your team's out there, but you have a lot of speakers come in and teach these young men about life other than football.
Yeah, there's moments where you're listening to people speak and you realize this has nothing to do with football, but this is the kind of thing I'd want my son to hear, right? And that's really the big piece for me in our program is that they're not coming out here just how to be great football players. They're learning how to be great young men and great citizens and fathers and husbands in the future.
This would be a Joey question to a player guest, okay? Who's the best singer? Because, you got out the Jake Will Ranch, you got guys singing, and you get coaches singing. I mean, are there any good coaches that say, who's the best coach singer and who's the best?
That's such a good question. I don't think we have anybody that's going to be on America's Got Talent anytime soon. Who's pretty good? Darian Daniels. He works with our defensive line. He is a good singer. He's got pipes, so he's one to keep an eye out for.
Probably been a little karaoke from here and once in a while. I imagine some of your team meetings and stuff. We're not talking X's and O's a lot. We're talking about a lot of things that develop a team into a championship team is what the goal is right now. We're going to take the break. Come back in a moment. It's our Pepsi Coaches Interview. It's brought to you, as always, by Pepsi and locally owned Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks, drink Pepsi. We're back in our Country Financial Studios after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
There's still time to squeeze more out of summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now, if I can just squeeze more clothes into this suitcase for my road trip, got it!
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends September 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
There's still time to squeeze more out of summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now, if I can just squeeze more clothes into this suitcase for my road trip, got it!
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends September 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
Back to the Country Financial Studios in 60 seconds. This is Oregon football from Learfield.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Well, I like hearing that return music, a little Go Ducks fight song back on the Pepsi Coaches Show, brought to you by Toyota, by the way. And we were just talking a little bit of golf, and we asked Coach if he had got a chance to play a little golf, and you said this summer you actually got some in.
Yeah, I played a little bit, and I'm still bad, so need a lot of work. But yeah, I enjoy getting to play when I can. I guess I'll tap back in on around May, maybe next year.
Did we hear something?
Yeah, a hole in one this summer, I heard.
Yeah, it's a par 3 course, though. So short course. It's like a 60-something yard shot. So it wasn't very long, but it was fun.
That's a hole in one, though, right? I mean, did you have to validate that? Or
Casey got me to reach out to Tiger Woods and make sure that it counted. And he had one on a par 3 course as well. His very first one. The difference was he was 8 years old. So small difference.
And he let you know that, too, I'm sure.
He definitely let me know that. But, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Let's get back to football. How different or more ready is your team now? I don't know how you gauge that. From the spring game until 3 days before your first game.
Light years ahead of where we were when it came to the spring game. And that being said, how ready you are, you never know that until you actually step on the football field and you're getting to play somebody else. Because what did you not prepare for? What were you not ready for? You don't know that until you step on the grass. So you hope you covered all those things and did a good job, but our team's definitely way ahead of where they were this spring.
A lot of familiar names on both sides of the ball, offense or defense, but developing depth is really, really important, isn't it?
Yeah, especially now in our game and how long the season could potentially be, but I've never been on a great team that didn't have great depth, and I think that's really important.
You hit the lottery a couple of years ago somewhat when you got Bo Nix. It was like, wow. And now you spent all that money, and then you just hit the lottery again, it would appear. Your quarterback room, to me, it's been here a long time, seems like it's the best quarterback room in depth-wise that we've had in a long, long time. Assess that.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that room. I think we have some great talent in there, some guys that can play winning football, all have different strengths that hopefully we can display this fall.
We were asking you during the timeout and a little bit earlier, Bo Nix moves on. Love watching him with the Broncos. He just looks comfortable. He looks just exactly like he did here, the way he's playing in that type of deal. So Dylan Gabriel and Bo Nix, very efficient quarterbacks, really make good decisions. Yeah. One's left-handed, one's right-handed, so that's a difference. One guy's a little taller than the other, but similarities, differences. Talk about it a little bit.
What I love about both those guys is they're genuinely themselves. They are who they are, and they're certainly different. They're different, but on the same note, they have leadership qualities. They have a confidence about themselves that's a lot of fun to see out there in the field, and they both are really good players. So excited that I get a chance to coach them both.
You mentioned depth a moment ago. A lot of media, a lot of fans. Starter is a big word. Who's a starter? Who's a first-team guy? I think as coaching staff, start's important, but you just mentioned how important depth is and developing that. You have that in your running back room. You've got that in the offensive line. Your offense and even your defense, talk about both sides of the ball, have really seemed to give you that depth you need.
Yeah, we always talk about, if you're on the field, you're a starter, right? And for us, it's about strength in numbers. How many guys can you play that can play winning football? So I feel like like we have a bigger group this year than we've probably ever had when it comes to that, and certainly excited to see it come all out. Our offense has some veterans and has some newcomers, but some guys are going to get their first chance this year to really show what they're able to do, and they're ready for it. Same thing with our defense. We have some guys that are veterans and some newer guys. They're going to have opportunities to show what they can do. So I think that'll show up across the board with our team.
Head coach, but your background is defense, and yet I love offense because played that side of the ball. So what would be the biggest challenge for quarterbacks like Dante Moore and Dylan Gabriel coming in, brand new system, have to learn it real quickly to be effective in that type of deal? What's the biggest challenge for those guys on the offensive side of the ball? And then a guy like Muhammad, it comes in on the defensive side of the ball, a corner where maybe he's out on an island a lot by himself. What's the challenge for that type of position? To get used to a new defense and new offense.
Yeah, you really across the board, it's always verbiage. It's always about, everybody has a version of cover 3, right? But what do you call it? So it's learning what are the words that you're using, and what's that look like. Same for the quarterback. Everybody runs inside zone, but it might be a different word here, and you might ID it a little bit different. So it's the teaching process, and then it's the repetition and getting an opportunity to do it.
There are hardly any secrets in college football, pro football, wherever, because everything's on video somewhere. It's on the internet. So what you're going to do this year is probably very similar to what you did last year and what Idaho's going to do, or any team. There are not a lot of changes. How do you disguise, and you can't give away secrets, but how do you make it fresh and different and hard for teams to prepare for you?
Well, that's what the offseason's about for us, right? I want to do things that are really simple for our team but really complicated for the opponent. And we spend a lot of time and effort in trying to figure out how we can do that, how we can disguise things, how we can hide alignments, and then challenge ourselves to look to grow too, because I think the best teams don't always do the same thing every single year. They lean in on their strengths. So we're going to figure out what our strengths are and be able to tap in on it.
So efficient last year on both sides of the ball. Didn't turn it over. Just offensively, defensively took it away, got to the quarterback. Those are two things that you got to take forward. So on offense, what did you guys do, or what do you do on a daily basis? Say, for example, fumbles. Hardly fumbled the ball at all last year. What do you do in practice to prepare for that, to be so good and so efficient? Because not giving up the ball in those extra possessions is really important when you don't turn it over.
Well, yeah, you get what you emphasize. So, 1, we emphasize it, run. And 2, we have a practice field that's a long ways away with a field goal post, and they have to go run around it if that ball does ever end up on the ground. But we spend a lot of time emphasizing the biggest indicators of winning football games is explosive plays and takeaways, right? So we have to protect the ball on offense and take it away on defense.
We're going to talk about Idaho here in a moment, but I want to talk about the new rules and how they will affect college football and your team this year. Coach-to-player communications. Yeah. You can talk to one guy on each side of the ball, offense, defense. How do you learn to utilize that and not overutilize it?
Yeah, that's a great point. I think this first game will be a great indicator of what's that communication sound like. We've been using it in practice all of fall camp. Our guys have gotten really used to it. But this first game will be interesting to see. Some players, they just want to play and they want to go play. And we don't get to play the games, they do. So there is definitely such thing as too much information. On the same note, there's some guys that can decimate that information and use everything that you give them and be able to, take advantage of it. So that's a process that we have to learn as the season goes and make sure we maximize.
That's offensively and defensively?
Yeah. Yeah, you get one guy on the field that has, a mic that they can hear what's being said to them on the microphone.
Another rule, video tablets. That's new this year too, and that's something that, to me, could really get away from you.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge piece of our game and how well we can utilize that information. We were able to practice with it a little bit this fall. But, yeah, I think that's it could be a huge advantage for the team that can use it the best.
Two major rules, horse collar tackles, there's other minor rules and changes. But other than that I've read or we've read, anything with the new season other than the new conference that comes to mind that you have to prepare for or that's different?
Well, rules in 2 minute have changed a little bit. Obviously now there is a official timeout basically for during 2 minutes that's not counted versus either team. So that's something we've worked some. Other than that, winning football is winning football. Our formula is not going to change. What we think it takes to be successful will be the same things that we really emphasize this year.
So what do you see with the Idaho Vandals? Talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a team. Coach Eck's done an unbelievable job over the years of really developing this team and growing this team. Just like us, they have a lot of different faces on their program now than they did a year ago. But they were a really good team for a reason. They were really good on offense, really good on defense, do some challenging schemes. I also think they have an identity, right? And the best teams to me always have an identity. They do what they do, and they do it well, and they do it again and again and again. So it's going to be a fun team to play.
Interesting stat. This is his third year coaching, your third year here. He won a championship game player at Wisconsin as a player. You have won a championship game when you were at Georgia. That's pretty rare when you have two coaches third year and both can share that memory, I guess, huh?
Yeah. I think, obviously he's had a great career and he's done an unbelievable job and had a lot of success.
A lot of Oregon guys play on that team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, you don't look at the roster that much, but at the same time, there's a couple of guys that play. Obviously, a quarterback from Lake Oswego up in Portland that probably is really looking forward to playing in Autzen Stadium. So.
Yeah, I think Coach X said that in his press conference the other day about how there's some guys on that team that are really excited for the opportunity to play in Autzen, and that should make this a fun environment.
Yeah. Ajani Cornelius is going to join us coming up. Joey's going to get a chance to talk to him. I don't know if he's in here yet or not. Oh, okay. I won't say anything bad about him because he's a whole lot bigger than all of us.
You can't find anything bad to say about this
Well,
guy.
that's what I was going to ask you.
There's no dirt. You can try. You're not going to find any. He's as good as they get.
So Joey's going to get a chance to grill him and grill him back too, Johnny, when you get up here too. Coach, all the work in the spring, all the off season, your coaches get a little time, you get a little time. Back at it now since actually late July. You're ready to play football against somebody other than your own team.
Yeah, we're excited. It's time to get out there on the turf and see what we can do.
All right, thanks for coming in and spending some time with us.
Coach.
I know you've been busy. All right. It's our Pepsi Coaches interview. We'll do that every Wednesday night here on the Toyota Coaches Show. When we come back, Joey Mac takes over, and you're going to love this interview coming up here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
There's still time to squeeze more out of summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now, if I can just squeeze more clothes into this suitcase for my road trip, got it!
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends September 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
Wherever you are in life, once a duck, always a duck. That's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has helped the University of Oregon community take flight financially, like our remarkable checking and duck debit card that give duck fans more for the things they care about, more for the game, more for gear, more for a bright future. Earn interest, show your duck devotion, and start earning more today. Learn more at myoccu.org/getduckdebit.
There's still time to squeeze more out of summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now, if I can just squeeze more clothes into this suitcase for my road trip, got it!
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends September 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
The Oregon Football Coaches Show continues from the Country Financial Studios in 1 minute on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back inside the Country Financial Studio. Joey Mac. Ajani Cornelius is here, folks. Ajani, thanks for coming over. So I got to tell everybody, I asked Ajani, I said, hey, I think you'd be great for the first one. And he said, we got you. Don't worry. But I have to say that it's rare that we get a live studio audience. Family's in town. Family came to the studio. That's awesome. Ajani, someone who really helped you get here, huh?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for having me, and special thank you to you, Mom. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for her, all the dedication that she's put in that helped me get to this point. So I'm just glad she's here today.
That's awesome. Thanks, Mom. We all appreciate you. Now, do you remember I asked you for your 2-minute life story when you were in here on Media Day? Do you remember how you did?
Yeah, I think I was pretty solid.
You were pretty good.
Yeah.
You're pretty good. Now, it's a new audience on the Coaches Show. You want to do it again?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So the 2-minute life story, for those that aren't familiar, goal is to get as close to 2 minutes as possible. I think you're better than Bo Nix.
Okay. Well, yeah. What's up?
Bo did it in 1:53.
Got you. Okay, I'll try to beat that.
Okay. Ready, set, go.
Okay, so I was born in New York City, Harlem, New York. I live with my mom and my dad and then my older brother. They've all been very supportive in my life. I started playing football when I was about 9 years old with an organization called the Harlem Jets. And, you know, they taught me so much about football. And it's a big credit to them that I'm here today as well. I played at Archbishop Stepinac in White Plains, New York. I used to commute an hour and a half each way, which was a very good experience. They taught me a lot about hard work. And coming out of high school, I didn't have too many Division I FBS offers, but I did have Rhode Island, which was, you know, the right place for me at the time. I went there. I had a great time there. Those coaches were amazing, specifically Coach Stephon Wheeler was great. And after 2 seasons there, I had the opportunity to come to Oregon. It's been one of the best decisions of my life, so now I'm here.
50 seconds.
50 seconds.
That was efficient. Efficient.
Yeah.
Well, look, I got to tell you, that was so much like so he did this on Media Day, everybody. So on Duck Insider, Johnny came in on Media Day, and that was the same story, but just like so much you didn't have to think about it, didn't have to pause. Well done.
I appreciate that. I still wanted to give all the props where they were due and, you know, shout out everybody who helped me along the way because it's not a story that I made on my own. There's a lot of people that helped me.
No doubt. And, you know, I'm glad that you said that because Coach mentioned this on his way out. Like, there's no dirt. We're not going to find anything bad. I mean, you know, Johnny, like, this maybe sounds like an odd question, but I think you'll know where I'm going. Like, you're the nicest guy ever. Then you're on a football field, and you engage with a defender. And is there a better feeling than pancaking that defender?
No, it's the best feeling in the world, honestly. I have a lot of fun out there. I really enjoy it. But like we talked about before, like having my mom in my life and my father, they just taught me so much about just respect and manner. So when you see me off the field, I'm always going to be the nice guy, but the mode switches when I get on the field for sure.
What time do you have like a feeling in a game when it flips? Like, is it you come out the tunnel? Is it pregame? What happens?
It's the morning.
Really?
Like I wake up in the morning. I shouldn't even say this, but I don't even want to talk to anybody. I'm just so focused on the game. Like conversations that happen, I'm only thinking about the game, my assignments, everything that's going on. Like when the game starts, and I really don't even have the capacity to even talk to anyone sometimes. So like people know not to talk to me too much on game day.
You need
mornings.
some you time.
Yeah, not for sure. I'm just in the zone from when I wake up. I got to be in that mood.
What's the routine? You wake up until kickoff. What do you do? Like, what's your zen for yourself?
Got you. So I wake up game day morning. I look to my roommate usually, and this has been all through college, and I'll say today's gonna be a great day. And that's how I start off the day every day.
And then you say, but don't talk to me.
I'll start that right. Yeah, you gotta put the positivity out there and all that. That's how you start the day. Then I go. We get on the buses. We arrive at the arena, and then I get my music going. The music is a big part of it for me. That also like help me get into that mode. And I kind of just sit there. I'm not a dude who does like a whole bunch of things. I do my stretches and all that, but I want to keep it simple and focused. I don't want to distract myself with too many things. I just want to be in a moment.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough thing to do. I'd imagine, right? There's a lot of distractions.
Yeah, I can't focus on anything.
Yeah,
but the game. Yeah,
that's the music. What's the playlist?
Oh, the playlist. Ooh, I like.
Does it change throughout the season? I mean,
usually I have a couple songs that are like my vibe for that season.
Okay.
So like it'll be those songs every game day of that season. I like Gunna a lot. Gunna is one of my favorite artists. You ask any of my friends, they'll tell you that. I like Lil Keed. Kodak is big for me. I like Rod Wave too, but not on game day. Yeah, for sure.
You got to pick the right.
Yeah,
it's got to be that. I'm with you. Now, of course, Coach Lanning told me that I needed to ask you about the process of getting your driver's license.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's start there, and then I promise I bring this full circle in a moment with music and why I'm asking you this. Driver's license, though. Tell us the story.
Got you. So on my official visit, I had brought up to Coach Lanning that I didn't have my driver's license. And, I'm from New York City, so not a lot of people, get driver's license.
Right.
Like a lot of my friends back home don't even have driver's licenses yet because there's really not that much reason to drive.
Why do you need one?
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of public transportation, trains, buses, my whole life. And so I got I talked to Coach Lanning. I told him I didn't have my driver's license. He said, we're going to get you that. Because I told him that's what I wanted, especially being outside of the city for so long. It's like, it's about time. So he really stuck true to that. And throughout my time, he kept. I was procrastinating a little bit when I first got here. It took a while, but he was always pushing me. He was always reminding me, and I finally got it done. Shout out to Carl Holmes, who helped me a lot with that too.
That's cool. That's awesome. So now, how's it feel? Like, do you still get behind the wheel and you're like, this is awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it hasn't even been that long. I got my car like last week. So
okay.
Yeah. So I've been driving it here every day. I feel like a whole new man.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, so one of the subjects that's come up throughout fall camp, of course, is your quarterback, Dillon Gabriel. He drives the van. Apparently, he changes the music all the time. Have you experienced this?
I haven't had like too many rides in the van.
So the reason I bring this up, I need to know, like, is this just the nature of the team that you're going to constantly be changing stations, or are you a let the song play out while you're in the car kind of guy?
Oh, I gotta hear it all the way through.
Yes, Johnny.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
sure.
the right answer.
If you start something, you got to finish it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Dillon, please still come on the Coach's Show when we ask you. But man, I was surprised to hear that this week he was asked about that, Ajani. Like, so I guess you change the music every time, and he's like, yeah, every 30 seconds or so.
30 seconds,
something like that. I mean, it was all over the place. So I'm exaggerating a little bit, Dillon. Please still come on the show.
That kind of matches his energy, though.
Does it?
Yeah, his personality. He's real high energy, so he's always on to the next day.
As an offensive lineman, like that relationship with your quarterback, that's an important thing, isn't it?
For sure.
That's a big deal. You got to take care of the quarterback, take care of the O-line. I don't know, just what's that dynamic like?
Oh, no, he does a great job with that. He's always taking us to go eat. He'll get, like, pedicures for the guys.
That's a smart quarterback.
Nah, for real. So he takes care of us, and we'll take care of him for sure.
All right, we're going to talk a little more offensive line. Ajani Cornelius is here. A lot more to get to. First game of the season coming up. Ajani kind enough to join us here on a Wednesday night. More coming on the Toyota Coaches Show after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Wherever you are in life, once a duck, always a duck. That's OCCU. Since 1956, OCCU has helped the University of Oregon community take flight financially, like our remarkable checking and duck debit card that give Duck fans more for the things they care about, more for the game, more for gear, more for a bright future. Earn interest, show your Duck devotion, and start earning more today. Learn more at myoccu.org/getduckdebit.
More gridiron action in 1 minute.
Gonna throw. Oh, what a play for the middle. Touchdown, Oregon.
Coming your way on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We're back. It's the Toyota Coaches Show. I'm Joey Mac. He's Ajani Cornelius. What size cleat are you in?
15.
I'm going to be honest. I guessed a 17.
17?
Yeah.
Nah, my feet aren't that big. There's a few guys on the line who do have feet that
big.
It's
athleticism, though. It's athleticism, So now, actually, on that note, like as an offensive lineman, you have to have the size and the ability, no doubt. But how important are the feet to your position and what you do?
Oh, so essential. Honestly, like a lot of what you see is up top with the hands and all that. But if you're not in position with the feet, that's the key to it. You have to be in position to make those plays with your hands.
Now, a defensive lineman would come on the show and say that an offensive lineman holds on every play.
Yeah, they definitely would.
They would say that. Yeah,
I was offensive lineman. I mean, if you can get away with it, you can get away with it.
Right.
It's no shame in that. But the thing is, you're only holding if your feet get beat. That's I talked to a Big Ten referee. And he said that.
Really?
So yeah. So as long as you win with your feet, you won't be holding.
Yeah.
And that makes sense. Like if he gets past your feet, then you'll have to hold him with your hands. But
Right.
if you can stay in front of him, it'll be good.
So there you go. Athleticism, feet, essential. All right.
Essential.
Offensive line play right there. I asked you during the break about just other things that have gone on in your life even beyond football, and I wanted to make sure to bring this up. You're giving back to your community, and you did over the summer. That's pretty cool. Tell us a little bit about that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, that's just been super important to me. You know, obviously, like I said, the Harlem Jets organization, they gave me such an opportunity to play football when I was young, especially growing up in New York. It's not very common. So I was just so thankful for them, and I just want to make sure that the kids back home see that there is hope for them to go and accomplish their dreams, whatever they want to do. And shout out to my family; they helped me so much with that, and they played such a big role in setting all that up. But yeah, I'm just grateful for all the opportunities that Harlem gave me.
You are such a humble person in the amount that I know you so far. Has it sunk in that you're like a real hero in that setting? Because I can only imagine having you come in and you're wearing the O, you tell your story, and just seeing the people that look up at you. Like, what was that feeling like? Did you kind of have a moment of that?
Yeah, honestly, like probably the first year I was here at Oregon, I wasn't even thinking about anything like that. I was just so in the moment with everything that was going on and trying to be present here. And but when I was able to go back and see the look on all the kids' faces, it made me feel really good.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm just glad I could make them feel that way.
That's really cool. All right, now I asked you a little bit about this on Media Day, but I think it's worth revisiting here. Basketball, something that you love.
Yeah.
Something that you're darn good at.
Yeah.
Okay, so the starting five for the football team. This is a common question. It comes up, and I felt like it was worth revisiting this subject with you. Who's the starting five, and maybe what would be the best 5-on-5 game that we would see?
That's a tough question. You know me, I'm gonna do all big boys.
That's right.
I'm gonna stick with
right.
the O-line. You gotta
look. You got the team chemistry.
You
there
know what
already.
I mean? We got the height. You already know that. We might not have the conditioning, but we got the height for sure. So definitely me. You can really put me anywhere. I'll just run point though. Right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like it.
You can put me anywhere. I'll just run point. We gotta have George Silva in there. He's a hooper from before, athlete, kid's tall, freaky length. Yeah. Gotta have him there. Shaq.
Yeah.
His name is Shaq.
His name is Shaq.
Yeah.
You have to.
That's self-explanatory. We can't even eat.
Right.
That's his nickname is Shaq. So
right.
He's in there for sure. I want to get Josh on the field. Josh is a true athlete. You can put him in any sport. I think he'd do pretty fine if you just explain it to him. And then so that's 4. Who else would I add from the room? Oh, Austin Mims. That's LeBron's nephew. Yeah. And he can really hoop. Yeah. You got a jump shot on him.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
All right. So who's the 5 you're gonna go against?
It probably doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. All right, good. Yeah, I like it.
It probably doesn't matter, but
look, you got the length, like you said. You got the height.
For sure. You got to have Kyler Casper on there, the tall guy, real good length. I think he'd be a good matchup.
Yeah.
For maybe George.
Yeah.
But we're gonna post him up. I don't know if he can hang with us. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if he can hang with us. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't think it really matters who you put against us.
Yeah, I like the confidence.
Yeah,
chemistry. Again, I mentioned that. Like chemistry's so important.
And with O-line, we're gonna communicate.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're gonna communicate.
We're gonna be in the right spots.
You're gonna communicate well. Tell us about the room. I mean, just take us inside take us inside a position meeting. Like, what happens before the meeting starts? What's the O-line's vibe this year?
The O-line's vibe. We're honestly, we have a lot of fun together, especially like before the meeting. We'll come. We're just all vibing. We'll chat. We'll talk about our days, whatever's going on. All the conversation flows real natural, and we'll be joking a lot in the beginning. Then Coach Terry will come in, and he'll vibe with us too until the meetings. It's time for the meeting to start, and we always start it off with a prayer. Coach Terry will say a prayer, and then we'll go, and the first 3 things we say are Big Ten championship, Joe Moore Award, and national championship. And, those are our goals. And we just, we like to visualize that and say it every day. And then and we'll go through. But you got so much personality in the room. You could probably sit in there and just talking to each guy, you could laugh all day. And there's a lot of great characters in there, and dudes that I'm grateful to be teammates with.
The chemistry, I mentioned that being so important. But as a player, like, how much do you like that you're talking about those goals all the time? You know, that's got to be a motivating factor for everybody.
Yeah, I think and Coach Terry does such a good job of really verbalizing exactly what we want to accomplish. And one thing he also says is, like, to go 1-0 in everything you do. So, I'm trying to go 1-0 in this interview right now. You know what I mean? Like, you got to –
You went 2-0. 2-0 in the interview.
I appreciate that. But, like, you want to go 1-0 with everything you do in life. And that's something that translates over to everything.
Tell us more about Coach Terry and the staff that works so closely with the O-line. What's it like?
Yeah, you're talking about the law firm.
The law firm.
Yeah, that's what we call it.
I'm glad the law firm continued into this year, by the way.
No, for sure.
I didn't know, like, is that going to be a one-season? No, this is a multi-season show that we've got here, the Oregon law firm.
It's a staple. You got Coach Terry. He's young. He's always going to bring the juice every day. And, it's always just such a pleasure to work with him because he's the same guy every day. Like I said, the juice is always there. And he's taught me so much about football. He has experience with the defensive side of the ball in Minnesota with the Vikings. Mm-hmm. And so I've just learned so much about defenses. And he goes even into depth of teaching us formations, just making sure we're educated in the game. You got Coach Cav. Mm-hmm. Love that guy. He's one of my favorite people in the whole building, Coach Cav. He always gives you the reminders, the key tidbits of just how to continue to perfect your game, and he's helped me so much along the way. Then you got Ryan Walk, who came on with us, and he's been doing such a good job. He's got a connection with some of the guys because he played with them, and he's just sharp. It's just a pleasure to have him around. You got Dallas, that's my guy too. He's always talking to me in my ear and making sure I'm doing the right thing. So I'm just grateful for those guys. Oh, and you got Caleb. I can't forget Caleb. Yeah, it's my dude.
I love though, being able to have this conversation with you too, because in modern college football, there's so many more people that can help you, right? That can show you different things. I just think it's an awesome aspect as college football has grown. Can I sneak in one more timeout? I got a couple other things for you. All right. Ajani Cornelius is here. One more timeout. When we come back, advice for 17-year-old Ajani Cornelius. What would you tell yourself? We'll find out next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
There's still time to squeeze more out of summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now, if I can just squeeze more clothes into this suitcase for my road trip, got it!
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends September 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
There's still time to squeeze more out of summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. Now, if I can just squeeze more clothes into this suitcase for my road trip, got it!
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends September 3rd. Toyota, let's go places.
There's more Duck football around the corner.
Got him deep. He's open. He's got it. And he's gone. 10-5. Touchdown, Oregon.
60 seconds away on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Now you hear that. Are you like, okay, it's the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
It's just programmed into you?
Definitely, yeah. It takes me right back to the game.
That's awesome. Ajani Cornelius with us. How excited are you to be at Autzen? That's an obvious question after hearing Shout.
Absolutely. I'm super excited. It's been way too long. It's always super fun just to play at home and see all the fans, so I'm excited to get back out there.
All right. I asked you before, advice for your 17-year-old self. What would you tell yourself if you had the chance?
I'd probably just tell him that hard work and belief in yourself is all you need to take you where you want to go. Yeah. So just continue to do that, continue to work hard, and also try to take as many people with you as you can. That's awesome. I feel like, back home, there's a lot of dudes I wish I could have took with me.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
After you play football for another 20 years and make a bunch of money, then what? What are you going to do when football's done?
I'm actually very interested in entrepreneurship.
Okay.
I just want to be able to create my own thing, my own kind of business, and see what I can do with that. So that's one thing I'm very interested in.
That's awesome. All right, keys to the season. To realize all those goals you talked about at the end of the year, what's it going to take this season?
Well, it's crazy because we talk about things like that with Coach Terry all the time. So right now it's I'd say establish our culture as a team. It's one thing to already have it internally, but establish it so that everybody can see what our culture is. And I think that's one thing that we want to do on game days is show everybody what we're about. Yeah. And then also just keys to fundamental, just, everybody knowing their assignment, do what we do, and just be ready for anything.
You bring up like the fundamentals. It's important, isn't it? I mean, sometimes it just comes back to fundamentally move your feet, don't hold.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the things, especially with O-line, is basics. And really in sports and football, you got to return to your basics and your basic training, and those are the keys for real in game.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for being here. I really appreciate it, especially with some family coming in to watch you play. Ajani Cornelius, everybody.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Johnny. You're the man. Here's to a great season.
Absolutely.
A great season. And then maybe, who knows, maybe you'll be in the law firm one of these days.
Maybe.
Cornelius is a great name in the law firm.
I think so, too.
Ooh.
I think so, too.
Maybe
one day.
Yeah, I like that. We're going to get time out. When we come back, there are Big Ten football games tomorrow. We're going to talk about that coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow. You sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Kids ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is, this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. Know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. Know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Get a little bit louder now. A little bit louder. I wish you could see us in the booth. What, Joey? You do see us in the booth. And
I do now.
Jorgie and I get a little loose up there.
I'm just glad there's no camera recording.
The first time I was up in the booth with you guys, it was a whole new world for me, an eye-opening experience.
You didn't know what you're missing, did you?
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
By the way, welcome back to the Toyota Coaches Show. Games tomorrow and Friday in the Big Ten.
Yeah, so we make picks. Jerry did win last year.
Thank you. Oh, that's okay.
I won the Pac-12 era.
Had to slip that in.
Just had to
slide that right in there. Yep.
Don't worry, though. The spreadsheet is back, and I'm happy to report that, yes, we do have Big Ten games tomorrow. Obviously, Oregon, Idaho coming up, 4:30. 3 o'clock on the Big Ten Network tomorrow. 5 o'clock on Fox, and 6 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. 3 games. Howard, Rutgers, North Carolina, Minnesota, Eastern Illinois, Illinois. So Jerry has to pick first because he won last year.
I couldn't. We're not going to start. No, I'm going to go. First game, Howard, Rutgers.
Howard, Rutgers.
Oh, give me a Rutgers. Will just roll 27 points or more.
They're good.
Yeah, they're really good.
I think they're going to be a huge surprise to a lot of people this year.
Fundamentally sound.
Yeah, any team that Schiano coaches is tough.
Do you have the coin?
Actually, I do not have the coin.
Scott, Rutgers or Howard? Howard. He's going Howard.
They can score, I tell you.
Yeah,
they can.
Scott can guest pick these. Are we good with that?
Okay. Yeah,
I found the coin.
Okay, I got a coin. All right. Okay. Oh, he was the guest coin?
Yes. Well, he's about as good as a coin flip.
If he's
going
to pick like that, let him keep picking.
Coin will rest, and Scott can be the coin.
That's right. North Carolina, Minnesota, Jerry.
You know, this is
good game.
This is like a 3-point ball game, but it's at Minnesota, so I'm gonna go with North Carolina.
Oh wow! Okay.
I think North Carolina will outscore them.
Okay. Well,
what a
I mean, there's no Drake May anymore. You realize that, right? He doesn't play for him anymore. Okay. Minnesota wasn't very good last year. In fact, I think North Carolina beat Minnesota pretty badly last year in Chapel Hill, but not this year. I'm taking Minnesota. I think P.J. Fleck and company are going to do good at home, playing at home, and they're just a better team, way better team than they were last year. So I'm taking the Golden Gophers.
I'm going North Carolina. On the road, North Carolina gets done. Coined it?
Oh, no.
He's a quarterback, you know.
He's going Minnesota? Yep, you going with Turkey? That's a coin flip.
All right. Eastern Illinois.
This is a tough one. They shouldn't even be playing each other, okay? Illinois. Big.
Illini.
We played there years ago.
Illini.
Long time ago.
Yeah,
remember that?
long time ago.
Yeah.
That was all right. Well, Jorgie's taking Minnesota, and we got North Carolina. All right.
All right.
Guys, it's going to be fun, man.
Stripe it out this weekend. Stripe out. Now, the even rows are going to wear green, odd yellow, and the students are supposed to wear yellow.
Correct. And the charter box is green. The press box is, nothing. But our booth sits on a staircase. So half of our booth is green, half of our booth is yellow.
Okay, what are you going to wear?
I'm going to wear a yellow right shoe and a green left shoe. How about that?
That tracks.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, stripe out, though. It's going to be cool. It makes for awesome aerial shots. And 4:30 kickoff. Supposed to hit 90.
Yeah, how about that?
Awesome day for football. It's just going to be good to be back.
Last day of August.
A lot of tailgating. Gates open at 1:30, Stadium 3. So here we go. It's been a long time to me since we first heard that the Pac-12 was going away. Then the countdown through basketball, through baseball, and the spring sports and everything. Finally, the Big Ten is here. It's still hard to believe.
It is.
Yet, aren't you excited about it?
I am. And I Coach Lanning talks a lot about depth and like 2-spot practices. That's been a big focus for this team this year. And I don't know. I really like what the Ducks have. I really like what they have depth-wise, and I'm excited to just see it on Saturday.
Boy, the ticket sales are a testament to the excitement,
aren't
they?
Right?
How about that?
Sell out. Yeah.
How about that?
All right, we got to get out of here. Get ready for a Saturday afternoon pregame, and then let's kick it off. Let's play some football. Big Ten football, guys. Big Ten football.
Can't wait.
Oregon is picked to do pretty well this year.
This has been the Oregon Football Coaches Show on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield. Presented by Toyota. Let's go places. Tonight's show has also been brought to you by Country Financial Insurance. Protect what matters. And by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Go Ducks. Drink Pepsi. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.